on then. What's your favorite adventure?
Blink.
Definitely Blink.
Blink. Every time.
Okay, but they are right, though. It is the best episode. Hello, Internet. I'm Ren, and today I want to talk about Doctor Who Season 2, Episode 2, Lux. This is going to be another low-key, unscripted review, so it's just me, my notes, and my hyperfixation as we break down this episode. There will, of course, be spoilers for Doctor Who up to this point, so look out for that. You have been warned. But let's jump right in. The episode starts with a cold open of a 1950s movie theater, in which a misdirected moonbeam brings a cartoon to life, and he wreaks havoc and disappears 15 people into film strips.
Whatever you do, don't make me laugh!
Meanwhile, the Doctor is still trying to get Belinda home, and still can't return to May 24th, 2025.
We bounce off!
He has a device that can help her get home.
It is a vortex indicator, which I am going to call a vindicator.
But they need to land a few times to calibrate it.
We use it to pull the TARDIS in like a hook, so we must land.
So the TARDIS takes them to Miami, Florida in 1952. After a quick costume change, which is one of my favorite parts of the episode because they both look amazing.
This bit I like.
They find themselves out in a deserted city at 4 a.m., which it turns out is a relief since Miami is still segregated at this time.
We got dressed up for no one to see. 1952, that might be wise.
They take a look at the movie theater, and the Doctor wonders about the chains.
Those chains are strong.
And what seems to be a memorial for multiple people. See, in 2025, we'd just assume it was another theater shooting. And although the device is technically ready and they can leave,
We need to get inside that TARDIS thing and leave. Yes?
Except...
Oh my god.
he really wants to investigate.
You're Scooby-Doo.
Honey, I'm Velma.
They pop into a 24-hour diner
We could risk a coffee.
and chat with the young man behind the counter, who tells them a bit about the deserted theater,
But the fact is, 15 people went missing, sir, all in one night.
and notes that the projectionist, Reginald Pye, is still in there.
He stayed on as caretaker, and every night, the movies keep playing to an empty house.
They also chat with the mother of one of the missing people,
16 years old, the kindest boy. He'd go to the pictures every night if he could.
after she asks if the fellow behind the counter will let her bend the rules by talking to the Doctor and Belinda due to the segregation laws.
I got no problem. This time of night, he's looking.
I do like this bit where Belinda seems kind of shocked and appalled about the segregation
We're breaking the law just by being in here.
That's, oh my god.
Save it for later, Belinda.
and wonders why the Doctor doesn't do anything about it.
Right now, we are busy.
How can you say that?
And the Doctor basically explains that sometimes he lets people solve their own problems.
I have toppled worlds. Sometimes I wait for people to topple their world.
I think it's probably like a fixed point in time kind of thing if I were to guess. And in the meantime, he lives in the world as it is.
Until then, I live in it and I shine.
And I just like that. I like the idea that the Doctor helps to improve things by being a light in people's lives, whatever the circumstances are where he appears,
My name is the Doctor, and I will try to find your son.
and also empowers people to make change for themselves. I like that while we're dealing with segregation, which is kind of necessary for realism in a story about a person of color traveling through time, it also still shows us that plenty of white people in these eras of segregation were either anti-racist or really didn't care that much about racism and segregation and were simply living their lives, generally interacting with people around them normally. And I like that because it doesn't frame the white people as white saviors or heroes, but it also cuts the legs out from under the excuse that horrible racism is just a product of whatever time someone existed in, because there were plenty of people during these times of horrible racism who actually were not horribly racist. That said, I don't want to erase the complicity of white people who may not have been actively racist, but were not anti-racist during this time period. In this episode, pretty much all of the white people that we meet are complicit in enforcing racist norms, at least during the daytime when they're being watched by other people.
This time of night, he's looking.
And it adds these additional layers when the Doctor says this line.
Things are different at night.
Because while he might be thinking of how the mysterious things and creepy crawlies come out at night, as an audience,
A lot of us are thinking about how Tommy's mom probably wouldn't hold his hand during the daytime, and the diner boy might not be so permissive about them sitting together. And I like that these themes are intertwined within this episode, but also don't overwhelm it, so we still get to enjoy the wacky fun that we expect from Doctor Who.
But I digress. They go and investigate the cinema, the Doctor breaks through the chains with his sonic screwdriver, of course, and they meet Mr. Ring-a-Ding, the cartoon come to life.
Yes, that Mr. Ring-a-Ding!
Who is immediately sinister and creepy.
I'm not celluloid. You're made of light. Light come to life. I'm beaming at you.
But we actually find out that isn't his name. He's actually Lux Imperator, a member of the Pantheon and the God of Light.
I am the dazzle at the heart of the Pantheon. I am the glint in the eyes of the man.
And very excited to see the Doctor. As Mr. Ring-a-Ding advances on them,
You think you can escape from light itself?
the projectionist starts playing the tape that has his song in it, which he seems compelled to sing,
Because I'm Mr. Ring-a-Ding.
since he's based on an actual animated character. And Belinda and the Doctor flee to the projection room, where they find out that the projectionist is still doing Lux's bidding because Lux is able to bring him back his deceased wife from a home movie that he has of her. And that's really sad.
And don't tell me she's not really there. Because if that thing is real, then so is she.
Unfortunately, before they can finish escaping,
The song is stopped.
Ring-a-Ding breaks in, and when the Doctor asks how to beat him, since the Pantheon have to tell him,
So how do I stop you?
He's not gonna tell you that.
He's bound by the rules.
he gives him this riddle,
If I must, then, Doctor,
Just think, what if I not die?
and then traps the Doctor and Belinda inside film
Animated.
in the same way he did with the other 15 missing people. And then we get this really fun sequence where they start out animated, kind of in Scooby-Doo style,
But what do we do, Doc?
I don't know. I've got a two-dimensional brain.
and they become more three-dimensional again by admitting their unspoken fears and concerns.
I get so scared being with you. Your life is terrifying. I don't think you'll ever get me home.
And it's just really sweet.
I can't get you home, and I'm scared that means something really bad has happened in 2025.
Once they're fully realized again, they manage to escape back into the theater, where they're confronted with a racist cop and the mother of the missing boy.
You're inside a space reserved for white folk.
He was asking all about Tommy Lee. He knows something.
And for a moment, we are outraged and disappointed,
He offered to help you.
until the Doctor spots a continuity error and realizes that this isn't real.
This is Miami-Dade County, and that is the uniform of the NYPD. Try harder.
And so they continue trying to escape. They try going out through the fourth wall and find themselves in a living room with 3 Doctor Who fans. The fans are ecstatic to see them.
Are you? We're your biggest fans.
And when the Doctor asks about their favorite episode, they tell him it's Blink,
Not the one with the goblins?
Blink.
I meant the Beatles.
Blink.
which is true. Arguably still the best standalone episode in the series.
On this. Don't blink. Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead.
They hang out with the fans for a little bit, but then the fans reveal that the Doctor's not actually fictional, they are, and they're an invention by Lux to waste the Doctor's time.
You're not fictional. It's us, Belinda. We're not real.
And the fans urge the Doctor to go back and finish the fight. One of them, Robin, even spoils how it's going to end.
Telling us out loud that old film stock is explosive. I mean, okay.
because you know how flammable old film stock is.
And they also reveal that they're going to die when the Doctor and Belinda leave because they're not real, and the constructs that they are will simply end once they're no longer being observed.
I mean, we'll die. It's not death. We just end. But that is death. Yeah.
But the Doctor and Belinda reluctantly go on their way.
I wish there was something.
We love you so much.
They escape and return to the real world. And they're sure it's real because the Doctor burned his hand in the escaping process.
Is this real?
Oh, it's real.
Babes, look, my hand got burned.
Come here, let me have a look.
And then he uses a little bit of energy left over from his bi-generation to heal it,
Time Lords have their own medicine.
which Lux unfortunately sees.
You have light within you that builds a body.
And he seizes the Doctor with the intention of harvesting his energy to render himself in a real 3D form.
Oh, the detail.
The Doctor sends Belinda off to save the day, reminding her that Robin, one of the fans, already told her how the episode was going to end.
They told us to plot. You trust me.
I'm so sorry if I did before, but oh my god, I trust you.
I know what time it is.
And so she realizes that it's daylight, and that what Lux never does is go outside.
Because that's what I never do, my lovely friends. I never go outside.
So Belinda gets all the tapes ready to burn, and then goes to Reginald for some matches, because she knows he has them thanks to his nicotine-stained fingers.
I know you smoke. Give me your matches right now.
He's reluctant to help, obviously wanting to preserve the connection with his wife, and he hesitates. Until the apparition of his wife hands him the matches and tells him to come find her.
I miss you so much. Find me.
And I'm sad again. And so Reg goes and lights the tapes on fire. They explode because I looked this up. They actually are explosive. And they blast a hole in the ceiling. The sunlight falls upon Mr. Ring-a-Ding, and he is immediately drawn to it.
Sunlight!
And becomes sort of enamored as he expands endlessly until he's nothing.
I am everything, and I am nothing.
Because he's just lost in the light.
He was made of light.
We're 60% water and we can still drown. So Lux stayed inside.
The missing people are freed and exit the theater and return to their loved ones. The diner guy is really enthusiastic about welcoming everyone back. It's so cute.
Welcome back, everybody.
And the Doctor and Belinda, recognizing they may be unwelcome here, take their leave.
According to the laws of the land, babe, sunlight doesn't suit us.
And then Mrs. Flood emerges from the crowd and tells everyone to watch the show of the TARDIS disappearing.
That was like a special effect, but like from the movies. How did they do that?
Trick of the light.
And that it's a limited run until...
Show ends May the 24th.
And we find out in a post-credit scene that the Doctor Who fans did indeed survive and get to watch the end of the episode.
Oh my god.
We're still here.
And that's it. Overall, I really liked this episode. And eventually I will finish editing my review for the first episode this season and get that uploaded way too late. I love Belinda. I think she's absolutely fantastic.
Those things we said when we were scared, they're still true. So let's go out and face them together, okay?
I love that she's sort of a reluctant traveler with the Doctor.
We can go now.
Suppose?
We need to get inside that TARDIS thing and leave.
I love how she says ridiculous in response to the many absurdities she's encountering traveling with the Doctor.
I'm Belinda and this is the Doctor. Really? Just the Doctor always?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And I like that she's such a capable healthcare professional.
I know. Doctors always make the worst patients, but trust me, I know what I'm doing.
It definitely feels like sort of an homage to Martha. And I like that there's no possibility whatsoever of romantic pining between the Doctor and Belinda. Absolutely adore that. Their on-screen chemistry is so good, though. Their banter is just... I love her. I love it. It's great. The cartoon and fandom parts were both really fun and cute. I loved a little glimpse of the animated Doctor, and the way that they paid homage to certain tropes was really fun.
Oh, that's it! You acquired Dick!
And as a long-term Doctor Who fan, I did feel a smidge attacked, but I also really felt seen.
Oh, God, you're so annoying. Lots of people say that.
And it was just kind of a great way to sort of break the fourth wall and incorporate all of us into the story for a moment. And, I don't know, sort of thank us for watching the show is what it felt like.
Thanks. Keep watching.
Certainly a contrast to when Sherlock did something similar.
I founded the Empty Hearse so like-minded people could meet, discuss theory.
That said, I think my biggest problem with the episode is Lux Imperator and the logic surrounding him. I guess I don't really understand why being the god of light translates to being the god of TV. I understand that television uses light, obviously, in its technology, but it's just kind of such an odd thing.
Light. The chance of moonlight with reflection and electricity.
And the logic for him staying inside to avoid what happens at the end, becoming light, that makes sense to a point. But he discusses his evil plan to detonate a bunch of nuclear explosions all over Earth for the light from that.
Seen it. Savage light of all. The glow of the atom.
It just seemed kind of odd to me. I kind of think it would have made more sense to do like a god of stories or a god of theater and have that, translate to movies and TV, because that's our modern equivalent in many ways of like traditional theater and storytelling. or just anything else to make a little bit more sense, because I liked the TV and film devices. I liked the cinema and the projectionist and all of that. And I liked the idea of an evil, sinister character in a cartoon coming to life and terrorizing people. Like, that's all very fun. I just think the logic of it being the god of light doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, he doesn't seem to really have any light powers. His only powers seem to be binding people into, like, film world, and that's odd. I don't know if that's just because of how he manifested as a cartoon character or what, but it just feels like the logic isn't quite logicking. And in Doctor Who, the logic often doesn't logic. It's more that they could have maybe done a couple more passes in the writer's room to, like, really get the logic of how this character works down, because a lot of it didn't make sense. Him being bound to sing and dance doesn't make sense.
Because I'm Mr. Red,
and we never really get, like, an explanation for why that works that way. It just kind of feels a little disjointed and confused. So I like Mr. Ring-a-Ding as a villain. He's genuinely so creepy and so much fun.
Because I'm more interested in Moonlight.
Overall, I love this episode. I just think that there could have been a little bit more logic to why he exists the way he does what he does, why he wants what he wants. And they even kind of poke fun at it within the story.
Because it gave away the ending in the middle, and the villain's motivation changed.
That said, Mrs. Flood is probably a Time Lord, right? Right? Like, that makes the most sense for why she's in Miami in 1952. We've definitely seen her a few places she's not supposed to be so far, but I think this is the most something's up one of them. And I'm very interested to see what her deal is. I think she's probably going to be the big bad for this season, and so we'll finally get to see what's going on there. I do wonder if she might be a member of the Pantheon, but I don't know, something about this and her attachment to the TARDIS screams Time Lord. Maybe it's the Doctor's granddaughter Susan and she's just really jaded now. Maybe it's another Time Lord. Maybe she's somehow related to the Master. I don't know, but something's up. And it's very suspicious, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. But that's all I have for you for now. What did you think about this episode? Are you a fan of the Pantheon? And what's the deal with Mrs. Flood? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you next time. Wiedersehen.